This video is for you if you have a hobby or a passion project that you genuinely love, but as a busy adult, you can't really see a path to turn that into your living. So today I want to share what worked for me and the very first step I had to take. In my mid-20s, I was a freelance web developer and I had always dreamed of earning a decent living running my own business. So after I went all in on that dream and found the right partner, in just 4 years I went from hobbyist/struggling freelancer to running my own business with 25 employees. One day the opportunity came to sell the business, so I took the deal, signed the papers, and just like that I was released from my duties and a new chapter of my life began. It might sound like the perfect ending, but it was 4 years ago, and honestly since then my life continued pretty much business as usual. I spend most of my time working, like most people. I'm mainly working on my new and much smaller business. I hang out with my wife on the weekends, and sometimes, not often, I meet my friends because, as an adult with serious responsibilities, my social life has been struggling a little bit. So a few months ago, a familiar feeling hit me. A feeling that I haven't felt since I started the company that I sold, and that was the feeling of wanting to do something bold again. To do something that has the potential to take my life to completely uncharted territories and, to shake up my life a little bit. I want to take risk, explore and build again. So I was trying to remember the turning point and what went on in my head 8 years ago that helped me turn my hobby, coding and web development, into a successful business. Now this might sound cliche, but bear with me for a second because I want to try to add some depth to it. So I realized that the hardest part was taking the first step, and I mean taking the first real step, not just things like buying a domain or something. I'm talking about the moment when I really started investing time and energy into our company consistently just to get to the next checkpoint. I think the reason we often don't even give ourselves a chance to turn something we love into a living is because we don't truly believe we can succeed. Because if we did, we would do it. But the way I see it is the first step that starts building up that faith in ourselves and in our projects. And I don't think we can talk or think ourselves into believing, because thinking doesn't change anything. We need proof and we need reasons to believe. And to give ourselves more reasons to believe, we should seek knowledge first and then put that knowledge into practice as soon as possible. Because after taking action, things change and we change, and it puts us into a completely new position from where success might look perfectly attainable, or it might look completely different to what we imagined. Let me give you an example. So in my case, when we started the company, the first step to me back then was when I was teaming up with my co-founder and I gave up on the not so much money I was earning as a freelancer, and I calculated the absolute bare minimum amount of money I needed for a month just to keep myself afloat, and that became my salary for 6 months, and we reinvested everything in the business. Before that, my problem was trying to figure out how I'm gonna juggle my freelance work with our new company's projects. But after all my freelance projects became company projects, my new problem wasn't the impossible juggling anymore, it was increasing our company revenue, and I was very motivated to do that because I was the poorest I've ever been. And from that new position, it was far more believable to me that our company would succeed compared to when I was a freelancer trying to handle an impossible workload. Now, the first step was tough, but after that things only got easier and easier. Yeah, and I have a more recent example which I will tell you in a second. It's not necessarily a success story, but it definitely illustrates the concept of the first step really well. But now I need to change scenery because I have a skateboard session booked for this afternoon, and we all know how important exercising is, so I might just continue the video from there. Yeah, this is quite a change of scenery, I know. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I wanted to do something new, something bold. So that's why I started this YouTube channel. I've been wanting to do this for about 10 years. About 8 years ago, I had a small vlog and I really enjoyed making those videos. So I'm at the beginning of a new journey again. I'm starting it from absolute zero. So do I believe this channel can actually become something? Well, I'm not sure yet, but it would be great to turn this monologue into more of a dialogue and hear what others think about the topics that we're discussing in these videos. But anyway, I took the first step, which was making the time to actually produce these videos, because believe it or not, it takes anywhere between 15 to 20 hours to produce one of these suckers. On the 23rd of October, I committed to making 10 videos this year, and this is the 10th video. And I didn't miss a week. So I'm really proud of that, so I guess mission accomplished. So before we continue, I want to celebrate this 10th YouTube video by landing 10 skate tricks. To be home. It was a tough session. Yeah, so before I started uploading to YouTube, I was worried about how am I gonna come up with ideas every week and how am I gonna find 15 hours a week to make a video. Now, those things don't really concern me anymore because it's built into my schedule. After making 10 videos, I kind of already have my creative process. So my new focus is on learning how to make a video that people actually want to watch. And that is a very different problem to have. There's one more thing I want to share that I learned when I started the business that I ended up selling. And without this, the first step that I mentioned so many times in this video is only gonna lead to burnout and failure. And that is to make sure that you really love doing the thing that you want to turn into a living. And the reason you need to love it so much is because you're gonna have to forget about time for a while, because we never know if it's gonna take 3, 5 or 10 years to succeed. And sometimes it's hard to know if we really love something or we love the idea of something, like becoming a cool CEO or a famous person, or we just love the money that we're hoping to make with our new endeavor. And I think we need to prepare for the stumbles and for the frustration, because not everything is gonna succeed at first. I mean, I've been putting in long hours to make these videos only to get 10, 15, sometimes 20 views if I'm lucky. Also, I don't think every hobby should be turned into a living. For example, I like gardening as a hobby, but I've never really thought about starting a landscaping business because I don't love it. Even if somebody came to me with the perfect business plan, I wouldn't do it. So my advice, if I can give you just one thing, is to assess if you really truly want that hobby to become your living. And if the answer is yes, then come up with a plan and an attainable goal, be brave, and take that first step. A few months from now, a year from now, your life can be completely different. So I wish you nothing but the best. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it valuable, it would mean a ton if you liked and subscribed. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.